let's say, ISO 27001 compliant, but they may also be asked to complete other types of assessments, or they may be seeking multiple. We were lucky in some ways because we had such a close partnership with Microsoft, and then through Microsoft's partnership with OpenAI, manipulation of natural language is something that artificial intelligence can do very well. So this is where the sort of initial concept of our artificial intelligence platform.
Hi everyone, welcome to another episode on Why Involve, where we bring you inspiring conversations with industry leaders who are shaping the future of technology. Today we are thrilled to have Andrew Lawrence, who is the Chief Technology Officer of 6clicks. With over 15 years of experience in technology leadership, Andrew has been leading advancement in governance, risk and compliance, applying innovative solutions to help businesses navigate complex challenges. With a strong background in startups and emerging technologies, he combines strategic insights with practical expertise to drive impactful change in the tech landscape. His expertise in scaling engineering practices and delivering impactful solutions makes him a trailblazer in the GRC space. So Andrew, welcome to the Why Involve podcast. Thank you very much for being here.
My pleasure.
It's a great pleasure to have you here, and thank you very much for contributing to our community and becoming a part of the Why Involve community. So my first question, Andrew, is that you have been with 6clicks in a key role in the technology leadership role. What I want to understand is that how did 6clicks identify the need for a streamlined GRC platform? I mean, what was the business driver for that?
Yeah, sure. So 6clicks was started back in 2019, and at that point, our founders, Anthony, Louis, and the other Andrew Robinson, they had a lot of experience in their respective fields, particularly in large consultancies, the big four, and so they had seen the typical way of doing things at that time in the GRC industry, which often involved large, complicated projects with large numbers of specialist consultants involved, often with on-premise or highly customized solutions that were very mature at the time. A lot of those solutions had been around for 15, 20 or more years, but were starting to, I guess, show their age in parts, and then they thought that they could modernize GRC. In addition, there were new advancements in artificial intelligence that were just starting to show at that point in time back in 2019. So 6clicks was actually quite an early adopter of what has now become, of course, a major phenomenon, which is the use of large language models. And GRC software is sort of a natural fit for this modern iteration of artificial intelligence. The data that we work with is natural language data, and so it's not so much numbers or statistics as it is the things natural language. So descriptions of risks or descriptions of incidents and issues, questions that are asked in an assessment, etc. So putting their minds to it, they came up with the concept of the GRC platform that was simple to implement even within a complex organization, that was a modern SaaS solution, software as a service, not on premise, and with the incorporation of these large language models, which at the time was quite nascent and very cutting edge. Since then, over the years, we've learned many things, and we've found our sort of niche within the landscape of GRC software. And one of the big advancements that we've made is with the hub and spoke architecture, which has been immensely important in, I guess, differentiating our product from others, and it has really become what sets us apart, along with the simplicity of implementation and the AI functionality that we have.
Sure. Yeah, that's interesting, and I think that kind of naturally leads me into my next question. I mean, you touched upon AI. I mean, you saw that you said that 6 clicks in its GRC model is one of the I would say early adapters of how 6 clicks is leveraging AI to simplify compliance and improve risk management. But could you help us by throwing some light on this as to how 6 clicks is actually doing this?
Yeah, sure. So I guess the typical scenario, and I'm in the technology side of things, so my view on this is that as someone who is often tasked with delivering, I guess, a whole lot of information to an assessment of compliance. So in a scenario where, for example, a business may be ISO 27001 compliant, but they may also be asked to complete other types of assessments, or they may be seeking multiple certifications. And what we find is there's a large amount of overlap between one assessment to another, but it can be quite challenging or at the very least time consuming for the people tasked with completing these assessments to sort of identify that overlap and realize when they have this data on hand already or have previously answered these questions. And so this is something that artificial intelligence and large language models can do really well. So it's very good at identifying, for example, 2 questions that are largely the same. It's very good at identifying merging the answers to different questions together, or taking information out of one answer and merging it into another. This type of manipulation of natural language is something that artificial intelligence can do very well. So this is where the sort of initial concept of our artificial intelligence platform, which by the way we call Haley, is her name.
Okay.
That's her name. That's where it came about. And since then, and particularly over the last 24 months or so, we've actually expanded Haley to a whole suite of applications, and we're very much working on the cutting edge of what we can do with modern AI, and that includes everything from sort of search-based capabilities, searching the data within your organization, through to generation of results, and now we're also working on things like risk identification and third-party vendor management, and these sort of other cases which will really push AI to its limits, I think.
Thank you. Understood. That's really interesting. So are there any specific, this question comes to my mind because we have been talking about how 6 clicks is adapting and using LLMs and multiple AI models. But is there any specific technology stack for AI that you are using? Could you elaborate on that?
Yep. Well, we were lucky in some ways because we had such a close partnership with Microsoft, who and then through Microsoft's partnership with OpenAI, that they've been in the position of really being at the forefront of the AI. Let's call it a trend. I don't want to call it a trend. The forefront of the frontiers of AI. So we're very much working with Microsoft closely and pushing them to really work on the cutting edge of what they can do with OpenAI. But beyond that, we also do leverage other models, and we have our own self-hosted models as well. So yeah, we're looking at a variety of different techniques to get the most out of Haley.
And in your initial response to my first question, you touched upon the hub and spoke model, and that really kind of sounded very interesting. And this is something that you don't often see in the industry. So could you elaborate on the hub and spoke model, and how is that benefiting multi-entity organizations, which are your customers, right? So
yeah, you don't see it too often because it's actually quite challenging to implement. But it's become immensely important to what we do. So just to sort of paint a picture for anyone who doesn't know, so imagine a multi-tenant environment. A typical multi-tenant environment would be flat with each tenancy, which a tenancy could be a customer or it could be a business unit or say a department in a flat structure. But with our structure, it's hierarchical. So it's what we call the hub, which is it could be flexibly defined. So a hub could be, in the case of say a managed service provider, the hub could be the service provider, and then the spokes could be their clients, or it could be a single organization with multiple business units. You could actually you can dream up all different types of architectures that would be within the hub and spoke model. But at the end of the day, what you have at the hub level is, I guess, the sort of center of excellence and around the GRC requirements of that organization. And at the spoke level, you have, I guess, the practitioners, the day-to-day practitioners. And then the information flow goes two ways between the hub and the spoke. So you get roll-up of reporting to the hub level, so that at the hub level they can report on what's happening at all the spokes, but also the hub can push down information to the spokes, and they could do that, for example, to provide content, or they could actually enforce workflows, for example, or certain requirements at the hub level. So there's an enormous amount of flexibility that you get, and we're continuing to, as time goes on and as we've realized how important this is, we're continuing to add more and more capabilities to our hub and spoke model to really lean into that and get the most out of it.
Yeah, that's really insightful. I mean, the next question that comes to my mind, I mean, you touched about the hub and spoke. So you obviously would have had to really put a lot of solution thought and actual technical solutions in place to for your customers to retain the centralized control or governance. But through the hub and spoke, you are saying that you have allowed or you have enabled your customer organizations to decentralize the local controls but maintain central oversight. Could you help us?
Correct.
With
Yeah,
that?
Yeah, and you're right. There is a fair amount of thought and engineering that has to go into it, particularly when we think about data security, because with a regular multi-tenant solution, every tenant is completely isolated and there is really no crossover of data. Now, we still want to have that. Of course, we need to make sure that the tenants are not seeing each other's data. But at the same time, we need to be able to have this flow from the hub and back to the hub. So this really does require a fair amount of thought and engineering on our behalf. And in addition, really anything that we do now, whenever we develop a feature, we build hub and spoke support into that feature. So, for example, we've recently rolled out a new configurable dashboard, so you can configure the dashboard how you like it, and we've built hub and spoke support into that. So if the customers want, they can actually configure the dashboard at the hub level and then roll that out to the spokes, but they also have the flexibility that the spokes can define their own dashboards. So that's one example, a small example, but that's one example where we've gone beyond, I guess, the sort of normal type of functionality you might see in a normal sort of multi-tenant solution, and we've added on this hub and spoke capability to it.
Yep, makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense, and then we're specifically in the GRC space, GRC sphere. Entities, customers, clients are extremely worried about regaining control, but at the same time they want decentralization. And I think 6clicks is this particular solution is placed in the right spot, I would say, with the supporting technical the solution that gives.
And I think it's a model that we'll see more and more as software matures. It's not a common model to see, even in very well-selling, much more well-known products out there. They don't have this model, so I think
exactly.
I like to think we're really demonstrating what the possibilities are with something like this.
And in our experience too, we have worked with multiple companies. We are working with 6clicks to support some part of the development. However, on many other engagements, we see a lot of customers developing products which are to be implemented in SaaS mode. And when it comes to actual implementations at their customer sites, we see a very standard model evolving. It's either SaaS, which is on cloud, or if customers have worries about sense of security, data security, then it is on premise or a dedicated cloud. These are the two models that we commonly see. But when I'm seeing when you talk about hub and spoke and how 6clicks has successfully implemented it, that's certainly I think the way to go, and I'm sure that others will evolve too.
I think so. I think it's sort of I definitely think at some point we'll see that on the list of must-haves for software, but it's not on the list at the moment. I think just because it's hard to do, but so I'm quite proud that we've done it, and we're winning business because of it. This is why customers are choosing us, because we have this capability.
Sure, that's good. And you touched upon kind of reports, dashboarding. That brings me to my next question. Logically, is all about be it any business, but specifically in GRC space, and when there is specific to a lot of compliance requirements, there must be the key requirement from all your implementations and customers must be insights and actionable insights. So how is 6clicks providing those insights? What sort of mechanisms and business intelligence you have in place to provide those insights to your customers?
Yeah, sure. So for a long time, we've had an embedded business intelligence platform within 6clicks, and that's a very powerful BI platform, and it comes out of the box with a variety of reports, and then you can configure that and expand that to your heart's content. And again, the hub and spoke concept is really important here. The ability for the hub to be able to access data at the spoke level. So 6clicks has this embedded capability. We've also acknowledged that there's plenty of other great BI tools out there, Power BI and Tableau and many others. So we've had support for Power BI and such for a long time, but this year we've really made a push to expand that support so that customers can bring their own tools as well. And we're finding it's a combination of the embedded platform that has that close integration and the real-time data and that sort of thing, combined with you can bring in Power BI where people already know how to use that tool, and can produce very beautiful reports, and then you can plug that into our APIs and extract data out however you want to.
Yep. That makes a lot of sense, and I think what I see in 6 Clicks offering is a unique model of I mean uh, your business, your 6 Clicks entire business around GRC is primarily focused on the domain expertise that you already have, and you have been able to convert the domain expertise into a feasible technical solution, but at the same time you are giving your clients and customers the flexibility to adapt their own technologies as well as reporting needs, right? And I think that's the right mix.
Yeah. Well,
So
it's
they're
a
not.
balancing act
Yeah,
for
yeah,
us between being, I guess, somewhat opinionated about how GRC should be conducted, and I think that's sort of, in a way, sets us a little bit apart from what when I was talking about the sort of old guard of GRC platforms where they were very, very highly configured and bespoke, and in order to sort of have that out of the box, really fast to implement solution, we do need to be, opinionated about how that should work. But at the same time, we're working with complex, large enterprises now and government, who do require a high degree of configurability and ability to customize it to their specific needs. So yeah, it is a balancing act for us, and we need to provide that flexibility when it's required, but also provide something that you can really get started on very quickly. If your needs are perhaps more simple, or you're more open to, I guess, being led by the best practices that we're providing.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So something that came to my mind now. This was not a part of my original question set, but when it comes to as 6 Clicks is growing, expanding, acquiring more customers, large customers, also government entities and entities that require a lot of compliance, management. How do you see an effective implementation of the solution suite? Uh, is that so? Does 6 Click do it on its own? Does it partner with someone? How does this entire solution implementation work?
Well, we do both. Yeah. So we have our own customer success team, and we'll assist with the implementation. I mean, a lot of, like I said, it's designed to be kind of simple enough out of the box that customers can kind of do it themselves to some extent. But of course we have our customer success people working closely with the clients from day one. But as well, we have a really great set of partners that we work with who also assist with that implementation, and this is something that is incredibly important to us, and like CyberCX and Accenture, etc., who are trained in 6 Clicks and are able to help with implementation.
Okay, yeah, that's interesting. Now this one is going to be a bit about the relationship between 6 Clicks and Y Technologies. I mean, we have 6 Clicks has been kind enough to give us an opportunity to work with them in a small way to contribute to the development of your GRC solution platform. And I would like to understand, you being the technology leader at 6 Clicks, what's your experience in working with us?
Yeah, well, I think it's an understatement to say it's in a small way. I think it's been quite a large contribution that Y has made. You've been there since the early days with 6 Clicks, and we've had people from your team come on for short stints, but also for very long stints. So we have some of your team who have now been with us for many years, and very much we treat them as part of the 6 Clicks family. And they're really great and really important to us. So we have our own permanent staff as well, but it's important, I think, to have that balance of being able to, call, like I actually did this morning, I believe. I sent an email, hey, we need X, Y, Z, can you provide that in short notice? And so that's obviously what a service like Wire provides, as well as, being a global business that's based in down here in Melbourne, Australia. It's important for us to have access to people in different time zones and different parts of the world. So yeah, I see it as an immensely valuable relationship, and yeah, I can see it going on for quite some time.
Yep. Thank you very much for that. I mean, that's really, I'm going to take this to the team. I know that you interact with them on an everyday basis, but they're really going to be excited about they're going to be very happy and excited about continuing to work with 6Clicks. And what we see is that technically, the way I see it as the CEO of iTechnologies, that it's actually your team which is working in India in our office. I mean, that's their behavior. I mean, generally that's what we see with them. But thank you very much for sharing those kind
if
words.
You do talk to them, there's I can't express the love and the appreciation that I have for your team members. I mean, the dedication that they show is just incredible.
Yeah, and thank you very much. Yeah, they I mean, every time I interact with them, they talk the 6Clicks language and not the Y language, and and I think I think that's something that I really like about the deep involvement that you have developed. So thank you very much for that. What would be your message to the community, Andrew?
Well, if anyone has any questions or any thing that they're interested about in working with either with Y on expanding their engineering team, or if they're interested in GRC and cybersecurity, please feel free to contact me on LinkedIn. More than happy to have a chat. And I guess all I can say, and I'll say it again, is I'd really like to just express my appreciation and love for the Y team members that we have on board with us. Just can't say it enough how much I appreciate their dedication to 6Clicks.
Well, thank you very much, Andrew. That's your kindness. You're always very kind. And I thank 6Clicks for giving us this opportunity to collaborate and providing the engineering support on a need basis and obviously on a long-term basis. Thank you very much.
Likewise, yeah, very much appreciated, and appreciate you having me on today. It's been great to chat.